No. 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 Hi everyone, it's Ethan McKinley. It's once again the 2-minute Terminator, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. We are on episode 46 and we are going from the hour and a half, the 130-minute mark, the 90-minute mark, never get it right, to the 92-minute mark.
May I introduce to you Ethan McKinley, Time Lord?
On the other end of the line there is Ellie Fitzgerald, my co-host, who's not in the same studio at the moment, so she's calling in.
Do you know what?
Yes.
Do you know what I've realised? That where I've actually moved to, I'm basically a hobbit because I'm at the foot of a mountain in the hill. I'm literally a fucking hobbit.
You've got bow legs.
I've got bow legs and I've got hair on the soles of my feet.
And a hunchback. And no one thinks you're sexy. The minutes entry point and exit point for tonight's episode, listeners, is John and Kate Brewster, who's got a massive concussion, being in charge of heavy equipment. She's flying a single engine plane to the I guess the nuclear fallout base at the base of a mountain, like where Ellie lives. Brilliant.
Yay!
And it ends with Kate going, "John, look!" as she finds the keypad to open the doors quite easily, I might add.
Dude, don't even start me. That is one of my motherfucking qualms.
Because apparently you can just walk into any old Commonwealth Garden high security military base where they have got nuclear weapons stored, and just type in any number you want and just get into it. As I said before, the music playing us into the show today is the end credits music from Masters of the Universe. I said that like Graham Hancock then, right? Masters of the Universe, the 1987 action film. And on that bombshell, hit the music.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And we're back. Right, everybody, episode 46, 90 minutes. We're an hour and a half into the film. It's going to run out soon. Thank God some of you are saying. Not just because it's a shitty film, but this is a shitty podcast. Ellie, you have notes. I've got trivia. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Ethan, do you actually have any notes anymore on these particular episodes?
Yes, I do. I've got notes this
I
time.
worry to myself that if I hadn't started doing this, that we'd be fucked by now. First question, Ethan McKinley. Where is this scene shot? Where is this arid, desert-looking kind of place?
Well, here's the thing. There's a little bit before they...
Spin the yarn.
Okay. I think... In fact, I don't think. I'm pretty sure... that this base isn't anywhere. I think this was shot on a backlot or a car park, and a bit like the way they shot The Thing with Kurt Russell with is it Albert Whitlock? He did the great matte paintings when they'd like basically do a scene from 100 yards away on like a white sheet, and he'd paint in the Arctic around them.
I remember this.
When this plane lands, it looks so
That was
fake.
really smart. Yeah, I was going to say that's also in my notes.
The shadow on the plane looks a bit off. The plane's obviously real, but it looks like it's been driven on a blue screen floor or background.
Well, this is what I was going to say. The actors clearly aren't there because their shadows looked, like you say, so unreal. As they're running, the movement isn't quite right. It looks like it's against a matte painting or something, whether that's the actual scenery and they're running around in
I think it's as they get smaller and they run towards the base. They seem to go, mew. They're like they're miniaturizing like Ant-Man.
It's like something out of one of those old school kind of Technicolor movies, like I don't know, Jason the Argonauts or something like that. But yeah, so my first question was, where was the scene actually shot?
Outside somewhere.
Outside somewhere. My next point, although maybe I should keep it about the outside of this particular plant. When they're actually flying in the plane before they've got out, John's given that inspirational chat that goes from the last 2 minutes into this 2 minutes. And then he points down and to the left and goes, "Oh, this has got to be it." Now, the next scene that we cut to, the next shot, we're just looking at the side of a fucking mountain. There's nothing there. So I was like, okay, I'm not quite sure what he was... pointing at.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean,
maybe someone was on the floor mooning the plane.
the world's going to end. Get your asses out, boys. Oh, hot diggity.
That's gotta be it.
I've always loved you. What?
Do you not think as well that when they actually get into this base, this Skynet like hub, do you not think it looks a bit outdated?
You mean the door from the outside of the base?
No, like inside the base. You're looking at the really old school kind of like Land Rover
the thing is,
of...
it looks strangely derelict, but
yeah,
you could argue that these bases are basically dug into a mountain. They're not meant to be like flashy or showy. They're very meant to be like utilitarian and practical. The doorway going into any military base, I guess, isn't going to have like...
I would have thought that they'd have more high-tech equipment in there, no?
It's not going to have Fabergé eggs stuck in the... No, but I think the outer like area going into the base wouldn't be. It'd just be a way into a base. It's the same like you'd expect an airport to be like the slickest of the slick, and a lot of airports are kind of just shitty concourses to get to a tunnel to get to a plane.
Do you want to hear something completely batshit crazy that's got nothing to do with any of this?
Yeah, why not? We're only 5 minutes into the show about Terminator.
Awesome. Did you know, just when you said Fabergé eggs, it reminded me of a particular scenario that a kinky friend of mine where she actually lost like a crystal egg inside her. And then I found out not so long ago that because in one of the kind of like high-end elite sex shops, you got Coco de Mer, they sell these eggs. They do one in like rose quartz. There's one I think in jade. I think they do them in onyx as well. And apparently, what some like mad like current day hippie chicks do is they get these crystals and they put them inside themselves because apparently it's meant to make them more fertile. How fucking whacked up is that?
Well, you know that's not true, right?
You are talking to me, dude.
Listen, folks, the crystals thing doesn't work. I know if you like smash a piece of crystal in complete darkness, it creates light and photon particles are released. But anyone
carrying an egg in your snatch,
anyone
is not
into anything airy fairy or wears crystals around the neck, they don't work. And you know why they don't work? Is because you're insane. Are you using it to cover the fact you're actually insane? Everyone I know with any kind of like childhood problems, any emotional problems, anyone who's a short fuse psychopath who can change their mood at the drop of a hat has always been an alternative healing, alternative medicine, crystalsy person. Every single time, 9 times, 10 times, 11 times out of 10. Every time.
Can we not also establish the fact that the people that put crystal eggs inside their womb should not be allowed to have children anyway?
No, if you're shooting loads into a chick who puts crystal eggs inside her, you should get rid of Amelia and find a chick who puts Kinder eggs inside her. At least that way you get a toy out of it.
At least that tastes better.
Yeah.
But also they say that a man shouldn't ever really ejaculate into a female because that's a man like losing his energy source. Who dreams this shit up, man?
Someone who doesn't get laid very often and they're jealous
like
of men.
Someone that walks around with their fucking balls in a fucking wheelbarrow because they haven't jizzed in the last 30 years because they're going to lose their chi. Unbelievable. Anyway, back to more unbelievable acting by the main protagonists in this film. I thought when I first saw that door, it kind of made me think like a bit of Prometheus
Return of the Jedi.
Or something.
No, it looks like Jabba's door from Return of the Jedi.
I've only seen that film a couple of times.
Jabba's back door.
Jabba's back door. And yeah, like, oh no, how are we gonna get through this massive door? Oh, how's about this control panel I found so strategically placed just to the left-hand side? And when I open it up, it says standby. And of course, Kate finds it. Oh, it's so bad. But also, another point that I made was when they're back in the plane before they get to the camp, and they fly over a very low fence and the sign that says danger, US government property, no trespassing. It's like, well, you might as well have a friggin' monkey guarding it.
Is it mentioned in the film or did we miss it? You wouldn't have thought we had because we've been going through it in 2-minute increments. But like, why is this base deserted?
I we have not. We have not covered this. This is what I mean. It all looks a bit barren. It's a bit.
Shouldn't there be generals, technicians,
outdated.
and scientists working flat out, trying to like undo this mess or shut down Skynet?
But this is why I feel like the camp itself, the bit they're actually inside. This is why I feel like everything looks really outdated. I would have thought this would be obviously secret, a small group of people working together, but there should be some real high-end fucking machinery going on in there. If they're working on Skynet, there should be security. There should be everything but what there is.
Everything but the girl.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got one in her, and she's dull as dishwater.
Ellie, while smashing up... Go on.
That was it.
But while smashing up the car, Ellie, that we saw in the last scene, Arnold tore his rotator cuff, which is your shoulder, basically. So he was injured on set.
So he really was fist pumping it.
Oh, yeah, proper.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was a real car, but basically he was in a sling for 3 to 4 weeks, but it didn't delay the completion of the film.
Of course it didn't, because he's a fucking double-R bastard. And in answer to your question, Ethan, that you made in the previous episode, yes, Kate Brewster does land the plane, and it's a perfect landing. Well done. That concussion did nothing.
I thought she was just a vet.
Fucking well. Shocking in the booth.
Kate did actually successfully fly one of the 9/11 planes. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Mohammed Attar actually didn't get on the plane. It was Kate Brewster, and she's the person that made the 35-degree turn at 500 miles an hour,
placed,
which didn't tear the plane in half, basically.
How could they have even tried to have claimed that? That after all that destruction and death and carnage and debris, that there would just be such a strategically placed passport of the guy that was meant to be on that fucking plane.
Because it was made of paper?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that inflammable material.
What was it? Was it in his top pocket and his titty blew off?
Did you see that documentary, The Falling Man of 9/11?
Have I? Maybe.
Is that really famous
well, there's
image?
two kinds of documentaries. There's the sanction ones, which go, nothing strange happened this day. When Building 7 collapsed in its own footprint, completely flat, all was well. Or there's the other ones that are like, oh my god, the aliens are in charge of the lizard people.
No, it's not that bad, but what it does is it discusses how this isn't as simple as it was once meant to be. It's not a straightforward terrorist attack, because what they do is they look at all the tangible evidence as opposed to like conjecturing ideas from theory or from like opinion. They just go around and they're actually just looking at the bare minimal facts, and that is about how the metal plinths at the bottom of the towers, you can see there were like these incisions that were completely straight, almost like they'd been like lasered, and all 4 of these plinths that are at the bottom of this building had all been kind of cut.
Yeah, but you're talking about the nanothermite theory, which was so hot it was able to cut the steel basically, so the beams had this very like sharp angular cut across them.
Yeah.
The only problem is, for the weeks and months leading up to the point when 9/11 happened, you'd have to have loads of people going in and out of the building. You'd have to be hammering and drilling into sheetrock. You'd have to be painting, like Jesse Ventura probably says, that you're painting all the girders and the beams and stuff with this nanothermite paint. At no point did some secretary go, excuse me, what are you doing with that C4?
Exactly.
That's
bullshit.
So, yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting.
It is really interesting. But yes, anyway, enough of 9/11.
I don't think it's what we've actually been told. I think there is a lot more to it. But...
Oh, of course. But it'll all be red taped, and we'll probably never know the real.
We'll never know. I know one thing we do know.
Is it Terminator related?
Well, when Arnold first expressed interest in making this film in the early 2000s, Fox and the other studios were reluctant to take the project on board because they suspected he wouldn't make it through the filming because he had recent heart surgery.
Oh, shit.
He had open heart surgery, didn't he, Arnold? I'm not sure when, because he went back again to hospital.
Oh, yes, he did, because they were saying that there was a high...
It's all that, like, weird... I don't know, what would you call it? It's that weird kind of... what is it, human growth hormone and like monkey testosterone he was taking.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, amazing. Sorry, my phone just rang, and as you know, that when your phone rings, it cuts Viber out, so I've just cancelled the call, but I'm still here.
Who was the call from?
Apologies. It was from Nick.
Oh.
Not important. Unless there's a cock meat sandwich waiting for me outside, then no, it's not important. But sorry, apologies. Carry on, Ethan.
No, nothing. I was just saying that they didn't think Arnie was gonna be a safe bet to bank a film on, basically.
Well, yeah, because it almost killed him.
What,
Do
the
you know
heart
his
surgery?
wife didn't even know that he was going in for that surgery?
Well, his wife also didn't know he was banging the nanny for 10 years.
I lift weights. Do you think the world gives a shit?
Oh, better talk over it in case the evil Facebook censors, the YouTube censors, trying to shut the show down, which is what they're constantly trying to do.
And issues with this.
We've lost another podcast for good, episode 50. Why am I standing in a burrito shack? Something I uploaded after the fact because I actually forgot to upload it.
For good? It's been deleted for good?
I can see it, it's just no one else can see or hear it. It'll just say this show is blocked. I'll just re-upload it.
I'll just speak over you.
I've appealed against it twice and they've gone, no, we've still decided to get you because you're a naughty boy. Yeah.
Rowdy people.
Oh, shall I give you links to where your actual films are actually playing in their entirety with their actual soundtracks so people to actually listen and actually watch and actually not pay to watch?
Suck my dick, Tracy.
Suck my dick, Tracy. There's so much stuff on Facebook as well, but like YouTube, which is literally there, ripping copyright and wiping its ass with it. And our stupid show, us two goofballs talking about the Terminator, is constantly under fire.
I know, it's not good, is it?
I can't cope it anymore. By the way, if anyone's listening in the background and wondering what the hell this music is, if you're not that much of a movie fan, shame on you. It's the theme to Time Bandits by George Harrison. It's called Dream Away.
Dream Away. I used to really like that film as a kid.
I still like it.
I haven't seen it in a very long time.
I still
and generally
like it.
When I say, I really like that film, but I haven't seen it in years, when I go back and watch it, I don't.
Yeah, lots of stuff doesn't hold up.
It really doesn't. Although Labyrinth, forever, I could watch that film. Labyrinth is, for me, what Into the Night is for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times I watch that film, it makes my penis tingle. It's just so good.
Your what tingle?
My penis.
Why?
It's just amazing. It just makes me feel good. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. Anyway, one last thing I wanted to say about this particular 2 minutes before I go on to our sweaty mailbag. Yeah, when we go back to the T850 or whatever the bloody hell it is, and the vision comes back on and it comes up with the red light and it comes up with standby, how bad is the typing on that? Do you not think it looks incredibly tacky?
What, the font?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
especially when it comes up standby, it just looks really, really tacky. I think this is where it shows that all the money got spent in the first kind of like half hour of the movie, and they've obviously had to cut a lot of corners later on in the film. But it looks terrible. And also, he's meant to be an adaptation of the next Terminator, so you might have thought that his vision would be slightly different.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
I just thought
when it says uploading or rebooting or something.
Well, it comes up and it says standby, and then obviously all the information starts coming up. So I did pause it, but it's just all like, yeah, rebooting information. But I just thought that the actual font looked really shit, like worse than it did in the first film. And I thought, why they didn't just keep that font throughout the whole thing, I don't know. No?
Yeah. But he is more advanced, isn't he? So what can you do?
Yeah, but he's more advanced, and yet his visuals are shit. Like, they're worse than the original. I don't know. Anyway, on to mailbag. Spaldner, you absolute beauty. He's written us in quite the mouthful on the 19th of March. So we thank you, James. We do love reading out your thoughts. So James goes, "Hi guys, Ellie. Before I forget, you asked. Yes, I do know some things about fighter planes as well, and helicopters. However, when it comes to single-engine pro planes, not so much. Pro plane? Oh, prop plane. Okay, fuck. I'm more like Ethan and pretty much just call them. How do you pronounce that? Cessnas. Cessnas.
I've no idea.
Okay.
That's the only plane I've heard that's little. So I go, oh, it's a Cessna.
Well, from the sounds of it, you're not the only one. Okay, so I'd like to throw in my 2 cents into the Ghost in the Machine talk. Oh, nice. Ooh. I don't think he is emotional, thank you, because he said it himself.
Stop the letter. Just, block him on the page.
Come on then, Ethan, what's your qualm with this statement?
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to entertain people. Go on.
Oh, it's Lord of the Rings!
Get on with your letter, Frodo.
I love this music. I don't think he is emotional because he said it himself. He doesn't feel desire. He's just a machine. I think, however, that the T2 Terminator was more Ghost in the Machine. Thank you! Because he had a lot of time interacting and learning from young John.
But this is a different Terminator. It's the T850. I keep telling you, listeners, this. It's a different Terminator. Yeah, exactly. Shut up, Facebook.
You're old.
I don't care what you think, Facebook.
They had lots of long car rides for the Terminator to build off of. Oh, this new T850 hasn't spent much time with this John to do anything like that. The ability is there, I just don't think much of anything has happened to create the emotion. The internal conflict, I think, is his primary program fighting the virus that the TX put in him. I
agree with that. However, I think, as I said, you won't have...
No one cares what you think, Ethan.
No, but you'll have heard this by now because it's in the last episode that I think maybe this Terminator has spent a lot of time with John in the future.
Yes.
All right, one of two things. The Terminator is either this Terminator killed John Connor, then they reprogrammed him and sent him back, or he hung around with John quite a lot, and for whatever reason, he then killed John Connor. But I think he's perhaps been a friend or a bodyguard to him in the future. That's why he's been able to break him down psychologically.
This could possibly be.
Please continue with your lovely letter.
Yes. So the ability is there. I just don't think any much has happened. The internal conflict. Okay. That's why John made him state his primary mission, to give him the focus to complete his mission. Sounds plausible. Like Carl Reese said, Terminators will not stop until they complete their mission or until they are destroyed.
Exactly.
And she will become one, sir.
What?
Oh god, I wish I could make that dude's face. It's amazing. There isn't a strength to it like there would be physically between a T800 and a newer TX. In fact, I think a virus-type takeover program that the TX would have stored for just this sort of opportunity would not be as hard-coded as the source programming for the Terminator CPU. I couldn't agree more.
So, hang on, for special McKinley here. Say that again?
There isn't a strength to it like there would be physically. So he's talking about the virus that the TX has put inside him. Like Carl Reese said, the Terminators will not stop until they complete their mission or until they are destroyed. When it comes to programming, code is code. There isn't a strength to it like there would be physically between a T850 and a newer TX.
How couldn't you have a more advanced code though from a more advanced machine? Couldn't that overcome? If we put a virus from a Mac into a ZX Spectrum, wouldn't the... I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know what, you get what I mean.
I think the point that Spaulding's trying to make is that the original programming it's like a computer is technically stronger than a virus. A virus can infiltrate it, but the overall kind of strength would be behind the computer. So they're saying that the initial term, so that the programming on the CPU would be stronger than a virus that had been put into the system. No?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Blade Runner. I was just listening to the music.
Oh, well, don't get distracted, Eleanor.
Hey, how can I not be? You're playing.
If you can hear it, our evil senses can hear it. John Nichols sent a letter in as well, but I can't bloody see it. Where's it gone, John Nichols?
I think it is very much a right brain fighting the left brain situation. I also think he'd be able to overcome it because, like the CPUs we actually have now, there is probably some sort of antivirus programming that he could use to fight it off. Okay, that's all I have now for you now. Thanks, guys. And Ellie, I hope the weekend hangover wasn't too bad for you and was totally worth it.
When was that?
Aww.
Ellie, on Viber, I've sent you John Nichols' letter.
Oh, why can't I see it?
All right, Ethan, you asked what I thought of the bonus episode. At first, I thought you made a huge balls up and posted a new questionable on the T3 site. My second thought was, had I accidentally pressed play on the wrong show? So I stopped it and went back. Then confusion set in. No, I'm definitely not on the Terminator podcast. What's wrong with questionable, motherfucker? So I put it back on. Hilarious, listening to you winding up Alex and her getting more and more tense about not divulging personal shit, but also saying that you wouldn't end up falling out over it. Wrong. I think Alex needs to have that stick up her ass removed. Oh my god. Oh my god. Going. Or maybe have something else rammed up there instead. We tried that, John. That didn't work either, believe me. So glad you ended up with Ellie as a co-host, because she don't give a fuck, mate. All in all, a very entertaining half hour. Bravo, sir.
Oh, thanks, John.
I think my favourite part is when...
Pen and paper.
I say, everyone, get your pen and paper ready and write down the pinpoint moments when Alex is going to cry, saying you win a prize. And then she starts, like, whimpering again. So I go, pen and paper, down the mic. Oh, good times.
Bloody good times. I love that episode. It's so good.
Oh, it's because it's the first time we recorded, and then all of a sudden, her wanting to help, I got the feeling it's just like, oh, it's not just that, and it's just like it was starting to feel like a takeover. So it was just me kind of like asking a roundabout, indirect questions. Actually, no, I was being very direct. I'm like, so you're a co-host, are you? Stuff like that.
It was amazing. It was so good just listening to her slowly fall apart.
Yeah, if you haven't heard it, listeners, please do check it out. It's me just slowly realising I made an awful mistake. I've sank loads of money into this equipment, and the person I was going into, not business with, but
literally going into,
was, well,
in more ways than one. You didn't pay rent for sex. We did it because we wanted to. Whatever. That's exactly how it goes.
It wasn't a good time for me. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Oh, good times.
I've just posted an amazing picture on the Terminator wall.
Have you seen the Terminator picture above the John Nichols letter on Viber, Ellie?
No, because if I go into the Viber message, you won't be able to hear me anymore. Remember, I've told you.
Oh my god. Nosy bonk.
What do you think?
It's like one of those like simian proboscises, isn't it?
Dude, it looks like a fake nose. And do you see what I mean by the bit in the middle kind of like hangs down lower than everything else?
Yeah. It's a mess. It's awful. It was so badly broken. It's like Owen Wilson's.
Yeah, terminate his nostrils. That was like that's just the screenshot that's like large on my computer right now. Oh, we should put this on t-shirts. Oh god, amazing.
Oh,
thank you so much for bringing that into my life.
Flash! Have you got anything else to add, Eleanor, for episode 46?
I think that's everything I've got.
That's all I've got too. I just want to thank you all listeners for listening this far.
You.
I want to welcome all the new listeners who have been checking out the new page. Thanks to me carpet bombing it with pictures. Keep sharing. Tell your friends, like the page. Invite more of your friends to like the page. People who already listen to this show. You've had loads of free entertainment, motherfuckers. Invite all your friends to like this page. At least 10% of them will sign up and say yes to the show. Come on, let's make it bigger now. Let's keep fighting the copyright claim people.
To start coming in.
By the way, you know what? This is a question to all of you. I know people that listen to the show don't really go on the YouTube channel, but it is ultimately where the show is going to end up being stored. Can you all go on the YouTube wall? Because some of the copyright claims have been released, some have been redisputed. Weirdly, from the first film, and
that's so bizarre.
And that is literally us talking with nothing else. So I don't know
what's being disputed.
What's being disputed exactly? So I've got to go and fight more battles now. But yeah, go on there, everyone, and including you, Ellie. Check out the Terminator page on YouTube and see what's there and what isn't.
Okay, I will.
Because I can see it all, but because I'm on the technical behind the curtain Wizard of Oz side, I can still see them all up, and I don't know any better. I can just see what's been disputed. Now, sometimes that just means...
Do not look behind the curtain.
Well, that disputed just means it's in dispute. I mean, it might still be up, I don't know. So I need to find out what's up and what's not. But loads of stuff has just come back rejected, basically. So...
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm reviewing your dispute. MGM has decided their copyright claim is still valid. Now, I don't know why... the copyright miner disagree with the dispute. See, that's just... Oh, God. I have to redispute all these. Everyone, just check what's there on the page and what's not. It would really help. Thank you. And invite all your friends to like the Facebook page. You've got half an hour. Go on, do it. Just click invite, click invite. If you can't, if you only want to click once, download...
Send us in some requests. I want someone to request us to talk about something.
Well...
Or to ask us a question.
Ask us a
question. I don't know. I'd love more interaction. I think that'd be awesome.
Interaction? You sound like me now. Yes, everyone. Thank you all for listening. We shall be back tomorrow with more episodes, and Ellie's going to hold it together. You've had far too much time off, Ellie. We're in the home stretch. We need to wrap up this show.
I know.
And decide if Ellie wants to carry on, because you've been dragging your feet like a motherfucker. There, I said it on air, so... Everyone message Ellie and tell us to do the next season. Thank you.
We love you. Hasta la vista.
Baby.